To say that planning for this year's Art and Soul at the Arts Garden was different this year is an understatement, but it would also be an understatement to say that this could not have happened without the two people that I'm with right now for a short conversation about Art and Soul, the creation of Art and Soul at the Arts Garden this year. I am seated with the two program partners for this year. Ms. Keesha Dixon, Executive Director of the Asante Arts Institute, and also Mr. Rob Dixon, who is the Artistic Director of the Indie Jazz Fest. How are you guys doing?
I am wonderful today, right now, this moment.
Great. Yeah, I'm doing well myself.
Well, we start this process in terms of planning for Art and Soul probably about 12 months before the program actually starts, 11 months.
Usually
it was a little different this year.
The
day after we finish. So are you still happy that you agreed to be a program partner again this year? And how was it different this year?
How was it different? Let's talk Rona. Upon Rona's arrival, we had to start thinking about how could we make the celebration of Black culture in Indianapolis a possibility and to reach as many people as we possibly could, unlike bringing people downtown. So paying attention to social protocols and keeping mindful of that. How could we make it really exciting? So that was the challenge. And I think we did it.
I think so too. Although, you know, through this whole process, it's been like kind of like a lot of ups and downs, and we don't know what's coming next, and we've had to do this process just day by day, take it very incrementally, because you know, this thing that's happened in 2020 has just kind of like turned everybody upside down. So it's good to finally be here and actually producing the Art and Soul series, and thankful for the Arts Council to have the vision to say yes, the courage to do it, or the foolishness, one or the other.
And the support.
But I appreciate it,
right.
Either way.
And the support of Lilly Endowment to make it possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Their flexibility this year has been remarkable as well. So was that a short way of saying, or that was a long way of saying, you're still happy about being a program partner this year?
Well, yeah, what else would I have done, you know, over this time? It was a lot of fun, as it always is. It's always educational. It's always inspirational for me, because I get to meet new people, or I get to hear acts that I didn't know about. I mean, to be able to work with somebody world renowned as
my publicist right here.
You know,
the amazing Rob Dixon.
Yes. Right. You know, he has his hand is in so many pots around this city that then you find out, oh my God, the professionalism, the wealth, the talent that is right here in Indianapolis. And it's here all the time.
Well, I will say that both of you are legends here in Indianapolis.
I know, and she's saying all that stuff because I let her be in charge of the whole thing. So that's why
because she's also top of the food chain as well.
So she's like, oh yeah, Rob's great.
So can you both talk about your respective organizations and why Asante Art Institute partners with the Arts Council again for Art and Soul, and also Rob, why does the Indie Jazz Fest partner with the Arts Council for Art and Soul?
Again. Yes. Why do we do this? It is an opportunity to reinforce our values about increasing awareness about culture and preservation of our culture, to celebrate our culture. That's what Asante Art Institute, home of Asante Children's Theater to everyone, is all about. We're about teaching history. We're about educating individuals about being Black. What is it like in this world, in this time, and how are we able to be so comfortable and confident with it, no matter what is going on around. So partnering with the Arts Council on this gives us a chance to bring our expertise, to bring our education, to bring our spin. We get to put our spin on it. So bringing in libation ceremonies, talking about elders and the value of elders, talking about the theme, Black by popular demand, coming up with that. Well, what does that mean? It means that from inside, we're walking in the footsteps of the ancestors, and we are Black because that's just who we happen to be, and it's all right. So Asante, that's what we do. That's what we do, and this is 31 years for us. Not with Art and Soul, but 31 years that we've been around doing this over and over and over again. So it's a privilege and an honor, and I really enjoy the work, and especially working with someone
yes. I feel the same way. Working with Keesha is amazing.
Love fest.
And yes, it's a love fest. And just, our organization, the Indianapolis Jazz Foundation, Indie Jazz Fest, is whenever, we recognize the fact that the Arts Council has such a major investment in a Black History program, which is actually rare to find anywhere around the world. I mean, it was, there was not even a thought given to it. Of course, we want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So many resources put into this month. And, art and culture is just kind of the lifeblood of the existence of humans. So now more than ever, I think it is imperative and important that we do it, especially in the times we are in this pandemic. Yeah. So in years past, we felt like it was just kind of a bonus and a feather in our cap that we were part of this Art and Soul program. Right. This year we feel like it's just an absolute necessity that we have, partner with you, this organization.
Especially
so thank
now.
You. Really,
especially now.
Especially now. Yeah. And getting to partner with Keesha, and she's just such a major force in just everything Indianapolis, art and culture in Indianapolis. And I'm just saying, through the whole arts community. She's just a major force. So
absolutely, both of you. I mean, you can't go very far in the city without one of your names popping into the conversation.
What is it? So Rob Dixon, Keesha Dixon. Yeah. We're not related.
We're related somewhere down the line. Somewhere down the line.
As part of this process, the process begins every year in terms of planning with 4 program partners,
right.
And so. Early in this process, you were joined also by Metropolitan Youth Orchestra, as well as the Madam Walker, in selecting 4 featured artists who would be a part of this. So the history of Art and Soul goes back to the creation of the Arts Garden.
Right.
And so this is the 25th anniversary of that event. And also the featured artist program is going back decades. And this year, there are 4 featured artists that will each have their own sort of spotlight during this month. And I'd like to talk a little bit about each one of those. Matthew Cooper, whose mural is up here, is a self-taught artist who's U4 arts, African-American arts leaders selected these folks, and it is being used, his work is being used as a backdrop so that we can see it all throughout the month in all of the performances. Lindsay Lord, who is the Director of Artist Services at the Arts Council, she will be interviewing him for 45 minutes that everybody will be able to see. Then there's also Ashley Baskin. And Keesha, you want to talk a little bit about Ashley?
Ashley Baskin, a powerhouse. But let me say this about the Featured Artist Program. It's an opportunity to cast a bright light, a brilliant light on talent that people may have just heard a glimpse or saw a glimpse of, but to elevate them to a point that they're exposed to more individuals so that they can get more community support as they pursue their craft. And Ashley came on our radar probably, I think it was 2015, 2016, when she was in one of our plays, Genius, at IRT. And the girl, she's just multi-talented. She is employed in social services, but as an artist, singer, director, dancer, writer, lyricist, and today, you know, here she is playing guitar, vocalist. She's just dynamic. So as I got to know her more from watching her grow in Sante, and she's one of our teaching artists for one of our youth programs, the Prep for Life program. Last year, when Tanae performed, I thought, you know what, Ashley, it's time. It's time. I've seen her at the Jazz Kitchen, and she is somebody that people need to see. Young people especially need to see. Aspiring black females need to see. This sister is doing her thing in this city right under your nose. You need to check her out.
It's a voice that blew me away, that's for sure.
Right, right. Nina Simone, you know, is probably looking and saying, yeah, I did that. You know, but it was a great opportunity that we've been afforded to say, Ashley, step out there and do your thing. And she's, you know, make us proud. And that's what she does. And I'm sure that when she is featured later on this month, in February, that people are going to really enjoy her performance. So y'all make sure you tune in.
That's right. And also Christopher Pitts.
Yes, Christopher Pitts is an amazing pianist. And a lot of people have probably seen him around the city performing with Clint Breeze in the Groove, because he's performed several times with Carrington Clinton when he was a featured artist, and Clint Breeze in the Groove. And he has his own jazz trio. And, you know, he is somebody, like I've seen him perform recently, and he just really is captivating, really captivates an audience, gets the attention of an audience. What I particularly like about Chris is that he's worked really hard, and it's, you know, 5 years ago, he wasn't the same pianist. And one of the things that we've do as artists and musicians, the biggest thing for us is to gain the respect of our peers, you know, and, you know, that was told to me once, and then once you do that, you actually start to say, okay, well, I'm gonna start working, and, you know, that I'm really proud of him, because not only has he come a long way, he's just demonstrated how serious he is and about his craft. And that is probably the most important thing about being an artist, how serious you are and dedicated to your craft. So his performance later this afternoon is going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. He is a very creative young man, so excited that he is a featured artist this year.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing him to be that too.
Well, again, you guys are the ones that were leading that conversation. Judith Thomas over at who was at the Madam Walker at the time, was a part of that as well. And and I remember on this last featured artist, Judith talked about how this Yadine Cole is the fourth featured artist, and she talked about how she knew he must be an athlete of some sort because of the confidence, and she, that was in Yadine. So I know he plays the guitar. I know that he writes his own works. I know he's excited about being a part of Art and Soul. And I personally follow him on Twitter as well, because he drops these inspirational nuggets on Twitter all the time, and so he's all about healthy living. He's a very wise spirit. But you remember during the conversation, because every one of these nominations or recommendations for featured artists comes before the group of African American arts leaders, the program partners, and I remember Judith's comment, but I also remember that you all had comments about him as well.
Right.
So what are some of the things that sort of stuck out for you in terms of his performance and as a guitar player and all of that?
His presence and his insight into life, and being able to write pearls and share them in his unique way. He has a unique way of with his voice and how his voice blends with the music. you will be intrigued, you will be such that you want more of it. So that is what I liked when we had an opportunity to go and listen to him. Okay, supporting local artists is very important, and if you have an opportunity to do that, you use what you have to make that happen. And that's why, you know, with Rob being a musician, he is around everywhere. He's got the ear, he's got the knowledge and experience, and then he can look at these young up and comings and say they have potential, and then he can push the door open. And that's what it's about. That's what we do. We push the door open of opportunity so that they can walk through, and they are worthy of it. They are worthy of it.
Absolutely. And I think, Yadin, what I really like about him, to add what Keesha said, he's unique. You know, if you listen to his set, one of the things, sometimes people hear him like, what genre is that? You know what I mean? Because he's writing these original songs that are so uniquely him and reflect. So it doesn't fit in one particular, it's jazz, or it's like hip hop, or it's soul, or neo soul. It's kind of, or country, or whatever. It's just kind of what he is, you know. And that is a beautiful thing when you can create to have such an original voice.
What genre is it, Yadin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you all did an incredible job this year in terms of selection of those 4 featured artists.
Thank you.
I want to remind or let everybody know that the featured artists are all Indianapolis based, and that as part of this opportunity, they have a training in January as well as March, looking at sort of career development skills, but our big focus is to be able to spotlight them throughout this month. And I want to thank you guys for being program partners again this year.
Always a pleasure.
And let's continue with Art and Soul at the Arts Garden.